So here is something that is worth paying attention to in Bohemicus, because Bohemicus does that very well in a smart way, and I think many other tools should try to do something similar when it comes to using Chat GPT for translation. So here, when you have a Chat GPT key and you place it in here, you go into the settings and you can do some very interesting things. So you can decide which engine you want to work with. You can decide the level of creativity you want to give to Chat GPT. And you can give additional instructions. So you can give prompts and you can give a glossary. So I have filled up here these sections. So let's look at that in a more expanded view. Okay, so this first section here, I have created a very short glossary, which I decided to make tab delimited. Okay, and I have placed it in Bohemicus in this section here. Okay, so the glossary section. So doing that, just that, copy pasting here, you are telling ChatGPT that you want to use this glossary while ChatGPT will be pre-translating your text. So extremely useful feature. And then you can do more. So for example, I have prepared a prompt here. Okay, so you are a professional translator. Remove extra spaces when translating. So that's something we can think about. Sometimes our source text is a bit dirty. So we can decide to include that kind of prompt so that ChatGPT, as it will be translating, will fix some of the text. And then something that I think will be interesting. So some of us, sometimes we find those weird characters in our source text, and that messes up things. So these are actually HTML entities. And so for example, this one here, okay, so these 4 things mean that it should be actually this character displayed. Okay, so here I'm giving a small list of these to ChatGPT in the prompt, and I'm telling it that these HTML entities should be replaced by the corresponding character. Okay, and I've copied all that and pasted it here. Okay, so it's not all displayed, but it's in there. Now, so you just click on save. So that's it. You've prepared ChatGPT to do this for you. And now here in Microsoft Word, I'd like you to look at that. So there are a few terms in here, in this section, that have some terms that are in the glossary. And in here, you see I have extra spaces that I have added. Okay, so these here are extra spaces, as you can see. And in here, I have done something that is pretty difficult for any translation system. So I have this here, which is an expression that should be in my glossary, but in the middle there should be a small hyphen, and actually I have the HTML entity as a hyphen. So it's makes some garbled text that would be very difficult for machine translation engine to translate correctly. So let's go ahead, select that, and do our shortcut to use Bohemicus to translate this. Okay, so let's look at that. It's all fixed. Okay, so if we look here, we see that all the double spaces are gone, and in here, where this was made difficult on purpose. So let's look at that here. So that was here the glossary term that was supposed to be used. And in the middle, we had this issue with the hyphen and the HTML entity. And it handled that perfectly. And I think it's very good to do that, to have the ability to have this custom prompt to do some translation work, which would be normally a bit difficult to do. And if we look at the same thing in WordFast Pro, so for example, if you look here at what WordLingo does, Well, it's having a hard time with the same text here as I had shown. It can't grasp here what's going on with the HTML entity and replace it. But here again, if I use Bohemicus and Chat GPT, it's now perfectly fixed and it looks right. So that's a very useful feature, and I'm hoping to see that kind of behavior with prompting and the options that it gives with glossaries. I hope to see that incorporated in more CAT tools in the future.